sum up. Cost, whenever someone wants to get something, he must give up something. What is given up is known as cost. Clear? And that getting something is ensured by giving up something. And that giving up may be measured in terms of money, may not be measured in terms of money. Those which are measured in terms of money, that is our area, we should consider. The sacrifice which is not measurable in terms of money should be deleted from our area of study. So cost is a sacrifice which is measurable in terms of money to get something. Cost is a sacrifice made to get something which is measurable in terms of money. Clear? Now this cost has got two dimensions. One to the person who is buying only, to the buyer. To the buyer, the cost refers to the sacrifice to get the thing, and to the producers and suppliers, cost refers to the cost of sales. It is the total amount incurred for getting making the commodity or the services ready to transfer to the buyer. Clear? Now this is classification of cost. Cost may be classified in different angle. Okay, it may be some fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost in one, that is behavioral, regarding with regards to the behavior of the cost. But for accounting purpose, generally we accounting and cost accounting purpose, for manufacturing account especially, we classify cost in some other steps. Just I will give you an example, and after that we will find out what is cost and what is the classification. What is classification? Think it. Just you are a businessman. Just I will give an example. If the example is not properly conceived by you, you cannot segregate and cannot understand the nature and importance of the classification. Just you are a producer of furniture. You purchase woods, logs, okay, and these woods are transformed into furniture, and the furniture is sold. Okay, what are that furniture? Furniture, your table, chair, almirah, bench, and many others. Okay, all the wooden items. You buy the woods and sell furniture. So, but buying woods, what I told you, you are getting woods and you are selling furniture. Okay. Now these woods are transformed into furniture, and that is the process of transformation. This transformation is production. So you are the production of goods and services. You are the production of goods along with the services. Okay, and the total cost which entail from the collection of wood to the sale of furniture, that is the total cost involved from the purchase of woods and up to the sales of furniture is the total in minus cost of sales. Now you think, what are the costs which may be involved? I have, while I was taking up the topic, accounting, statement of profit, I told you the costs are of different types. What are the costs? I told you there are purchase cost, production or manufacturing cost, administrative cost, selling and distribution costs. I told you, and there are other some expenses and loss, and that was financial losses. So financial losses are outside our purview right now. So we should consider the purchase cost, production cost, administrative cost, and selling and distribution costs. Now I am giving you an example, and then you will find out how do we classify cost. You think You just right now you are you're the manufacturer of furniture. Okay. Now what you do? Your first task is to buy the woods. Say you are buying woods from where? You are buying woods from Assam or Darjeeling. Okay. And you are carrying the woods from there to your place. Now you think, what are the costs involved? What are the costs involved? The basic cost of the woods, which is a very high amount, clear, and the transportation of the cost. You might have given some brokerage, you might have given some commission. Okay, so all these are the total cost of the collection of the woods. Now, next. Now these woods are being transformed. Okay, say you are producing one almirah. Just consider it. What are the costs? The almirah has got, these are the costs. First is wood, the quantum of wood. Okay, how much wood is needed for producing an almirah? It is very, you can easily tell what is the amount. Say it may be 3 cubic, or it may be 2 cubic, it may be 2.5 cubic, depending on the size of the almirah. Clear? So that is known as material cost. Okay, that is material cost. First of all, costs are generally divided into 3 parts. I am coming and then I will let you know. So this is the woods. So it is material cost. Clear? Now think. The woods, in order to convert the woods to furniture, what you need more? You have to have the nails, you have to have the glue, you have to have the paint, or if you like to add mirror, you have to add mirror and many other. Okay. So the materials which are used, the material which have been used for producing a particular almirah are of different type. One, you can easily spell it out. You can easily spell out. कितना लगेगा वुड कितना लगेगा भाई अरे if you ask any commission oh sir একটা আলমারি কি সাইজ হবে তো এই তো 6 ফুট হাইট করো আর 3 ফুট চওড়া করো আর বেস্ট 18 ইঞ্চি ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তো হ্যাঁ স্যার ওই 3 ফুট এই ধরুন 3 ফুট সব 3.5 cubic কাট লাগবে nice. Can he tell you how much glue it will need? Glue or paint, how much nails? Is it possible? It is not possible. Therefore, there are the materials which are used. Some can easily be spelled out. That is known as identifiable material cost. Identifiable material cost. And the cost which cannot be directly identified, they are known as indirect cost. Why indirect? Because the calculation, mind it. See, for a particular almirah, you are incurring some expenses for glue, paint, or nails and like others. So those which are staple material. But these staple materials have their own cost. For particular almirah, you need 3.5 cubic wood. That is right. Clear? 3.5 cubic wood. But the other materials which you are applying over there, which is being used for that might have some cost because it is purchased in good quantity. It is purchased in good quantity and it is used for a good number of products. Okay, while producing, say almirah, say table, say chair, say dressing table, whatever, dining table. So everywhere it has been used. So that amount is segregated. The amount of the glue, paint, nails, like all these, they are total, they are added, and after that it is distributed. That is known as distribution of the staple item. It is some other area. It is known as distribution of overhead cost. That I will let you know later on. Okay. So the material which can easily be identified. Material is an identifiable material. Identifiable. Or some are non-identifiable. Non-identifiable means that cannot be identified easily. Clear? The material cost has got its two segregation. One is the identifiable cost, which can easily be identified, and the other part which cannot be identified properly. Okay. Now come to the labor. Because you have your materials, the materials will be transformed into finished goods. Okay, finished goods. Now, in this conversion, this task of conversion is known as production, and the process of transformation is known as production, and the production is carried out by some persons with the help of machine, and maybe without the help of machine. It may be man and machine, it may be only man, or it may be only by machine. So whatever may be, it is known as transformation, is known as the cost of transformation is known as labor. Okay. Now, if you ask our Komanda, just if I want to produce it, Almira, kitna level laega? Sir, just you take 6 go, 8 go level, mistri laega. Kitna cost? 500 करके, तो 8 को 500 करके, sorry, 4000, और लेबर और 300 करके 4 गो पकड़िए, 4 गो पकड़िए, कितना 300, कितना 1200. So this is the cost of labor. Clear? It can easily be identified. Okay, so labor cost can easily be identified. Then come. If you go visit any such factory where furniture is prepared, you can see that other than the main carpenter, main mistri, or the labor, there are some small boys. They carry a good number of boys, cleaning the floor, making the glue ready, helping just making the things duly polished, carrying the material from one place to the other, helping the main mystery to pushing the radar, or many other, you see. Some are there who are in charge of taking care of the laborers, all the laborers, mystery and other labor, bringing tea and many other things. Okay, just to go there, make the things reach, and so many activities. So there are many other auxiliary activities which are done by them. Now, what is the cost of that boy? What is the amount of money paid to that boy which is related to production of that Almira? Is it possible to spell it out properly? Certainly not. It cannot be. Then what do we do? But they are paid also. So say I have this type of boy, and they are paid monthly rupees 1,000. So what is the amount? 5,000. That 5,000 is divided among the different items. 50 almira, 100 towels, okay, 40 towels, and like that. Okay, so that is the distribution. So that cost of it, that is also labor, and that labor is known as non-identifiable labor. Okay, as material is identifiable material. Okay, non-identifiable material, and again that thing, the cost of labor is identifiable labor cost, non-identifiable labor cost. Now come to the different aspects here of expenses. You are carrying, say this is your production center. This production center is, we have to pay rent of this floor. Okay, pay rent of this floor. We have to use the electricity. Okay, then we are using different machines. These machines are having their own depreciation. That thing have already been taken up in the different occasions. So these are the different expenses. And now these expenses, can you attach what is the amount of rent? What is the amount of rent to a particular, in production of a particular almira? It cannot be directly said. Okay. So these are known as non-identifiable expenses. Clear? But one thing, say you have taken a patent from somewhere else and producing the product as per patent. Okay, that's the thing I have told you. Now for producing one material, you have to pay the patent fee ₹100. Patent is an expense. That expense is identifiable. For almira it is 100. For table it is 70. Same. For dining table it is 90 or that type of thing. Huh? But in case of royalty, it is known as royalty of production. So royalty of production, patent, cost like that is they are regarded as the direct expenses. But other expenses are not direct. Okay. So expenses may be should be classified into two basic parts. Expenses are of two types. Okay. Sorry, cost. Identifiable costs and non-identifiable costs. Non-identifiable costs. All these costs, the identified or identifiable costs are those which can be directly spelled out, which are directly attached to the product. And non-identifiable costs are those costs which cannot be spelled out properly, which cannot be identified to a particular unit of production, and it is charged to production under some different process. Okay, then this identifiable cost is known as direct cost. Direct costs. Okay, and these are known as indirect cost. Why direct cost? Because these costs are directly charged. These costs are directly charged. You can spell out how much wood is needed for making an almirah. You can tell what is the cost of the labor, the mystery and his helper. How much you can easily spell out. You can spell out what is the royalty on production directly, but you cannot spell out what is the amount, cost of triple material needed for the production of an almirah, or what is the labor charge for that, and what is the expenses for that. So these are direct and these are indirect. So indirect expenses costs are attached to, are distributed among the product under some different basis. That is a different issue. Right now I am making this one. So these direct costs are of three types. One is direct material, okay, then direct labor, that is known as direct expenses. Okay. These indirect costs are in the same way: indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. Clear? Now, this direct material, direct labor, direct expenses is known as prime cost. In Bengali or Hindi, it is mukho kharach, prime cost. Okay. Why it is prime? Because it is the main cost. It is the most important cost. Had there been no prime cost, there is no need of indirect costs. Okay, and these are known as overhead. Overhead means secondary costs. Okay, secondary cost. The cost which is directly identified to the product is known as identifiable costs. They are of three types: direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and in total they are known as prime costs. Okay, and here the indirect costs have the same classification: indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses, and it is known as overhead. And these overheads are segregated as per the area of function. As per the area of function. Number one. Production overhead, okay. administrative, ADMN I am writing, administrative overhead selling overhead distribution overhead and there is another important function and that is not included generally but I am telling you R&D overhead, R&D means research and development and that cost must be distributed among the product, otherwise the true cost of the product cannot be found out. Clear? So friends, that is the classification. I am just making the total, just give a total view of this. So cost of materials, cost of production of goods and services can be segregated into two parts. One that which can easily be spelled out and that is attached to the product and that is known as identifiable costs. And there are other costs which cannot be identified to a particular product and that is known as non-identifiable cost. Generally the heads of costs are three. One is material, other one is labor, third one is expenses. The material is direct material, indirect material. Labor is direct labor, indirect labor. Expenses, direct expenses and indirect expenses. Clear? So these are the basic heads. They are known as elements of costs. Elements of costs. So the costs have three elements. What are the different elements of costs? The costs are having three elements. One is material, next one is the cost of transformation, that is labor, and the cost of other expenses which are required to carry on the production. Okay, so the elements of cost are three: material, labor and expenses. And all material divided into two parts: direct material and indirect material. I have already told you identifiable and non-identifiable. Labor is the cost of transformation, that is direct labor and indirect labor, and expenses which are all other ancillary expenses that have to be met to get the production of goods and services duly carried on. So that is direct expenses and indirect expenses. Now, taking up all these things in this way, I can segregate costs into two parts. One is identifiable costs and the other one are non-identifiable costs. Identifiable costs are known as direct costs and non-identifiable costs are known as indirect costs. Direct costs are of three types: direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and they are known as prime costs. Okay, and non-identifiable cost is indirect cost segregated into indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses, and that is in common it is known as overhead. Overhead means secondary expenses, and these overheads are segregated as per function. When it is related to production, it is known as production overhead. When it is known as administration overhead. And whenever it is looking to selling overhead, whenever it is distribution, it is looking to distribution overhead. And R&D is a direct expenditure incurred by an organization, and it is always taken as the overhead, and it is distributed among all the product produced during the period concerned. Now, just so far as cost sheet, next topic will be cost sheet. Our next topic will be cost sheet. Cost sheet I will take up, but how to find out the cost? So the cost table. First, direct material, then direct labor, then direct expenses. You will get the prime cost. To prime cost, you should add production overhead. You will get the cost of production cost. Okay, you will get the production cost, and to that, when we add administrative overhead, we get the cost of production, and when we add sales and distribution overhead, we get the cost of sales. And the cost of sales and the cost and the amount of sales price, this difference is known as profit. So that is more or less today's discussion. Tomorrow, our topic will be cost sheet in detail. Okay. So friend, go through the topic beautifully. Be duly attached to our Insta and FB pages, and you will get the things I think duly clear. If you found out, tell me, I will help you. Okay, thank you and have a nice